Damn, this is exhausting. The NHL can really exhaust you a lot, and this one feels good. I know it's been like a couple hours since the game ended. Uh, yeah, I'm pretty recovered from now. Just to really get my thoughts off my chest. This was a game where it was all about guts and grit, and the Sharks really played their hearts out there tonight. That first period, it was kind of like what the Sharks have done over the years. This is what that new team that I've been looking forward to is the one that plays with energy, one that plays with emotion, and they did that in the first period. They owned it. Devin Setaguchi gets a really nice feed from Joe Thornton, really pretty one-timer, another pretty goal. And then to end the first period, Logan Couture off of a sloppy turnover. Logan Couture steals it from I think it's Hank Zetterberg, and he nets it right over Jimmy Howard's left arm, right into the net. Good stuff. Uh, just really great hustle and work ethic in that first period. You gotta love what you're seeing there. Second period, it was all Detroit. Antti Niemi really stood on his head that period. I know Hank Zetterberg got one off of a break or off of I think it was a 4-on-3, 3-on-2, one of the two I think, but it was the transition game and there was a great feed from Fipula, and then it goes over to Hank Zetterberg and he scores the to make it 2-1. That was a period where the Sharks got dominated. They were outshot 17-6, and Antti Niemi stood tall. And then later in that third period, after a few penalties here and there, Patrick Marleau, out of all people, gets a putback off of Dan Boyle's missed shot or safe shot. Patrick Marleau does it. And later in that game, like almost a minute and a half later, Pavel Datsyuk scores one off of a very beautiful backhand. It goes right over Niemi's right shoulder, and it goes in. You're thinking, oh crap, is this game five all over again? Because they were up 3-1 at one point, and they allowed a goal really quickly. But after a penalty kill to Torrey Mitchell, Antti Niemi stood on his head when we needed to the most. He's not meant to do shutouts, but I owe a major apology to Antti Niemi from that video I made at the beginning of the year. I know I openly said that. I openly said a lot of things about him, and I was critical of the signing, but I am very, very grateful that he really just stood on his head. I'm eating my words, and I'm happy to see that. It's good to know he's able to come through in the playoffs when we need it. And Joe Thornton, great assist. Patrick Marleau got the big score. You couldn't have written a better script for Patrick Marleau. He's been the one who's gotten the most hate this series. He's been the GOAT, whatever name you want to call it. He's been pointless, but he scores the series winning goal. You can't say much more. He did that last year against Detroit, scoring the series winning one. He did it again this game, and I got to give my props, major props to Detroit and Reverse Crow. They played and took us to the limit, but I know they were shorthanded. I think Bertuzzi got hurt along with I think it was sorry, not top of my head, but I know two guys got hurt, and that definitely hurt them. I think it was Jerry Hundler hit someone, and that was ugly just to see a guy self-destruct, and I think it was Cleary that was hit. I wish a speedy recovery to them. Props to Detroit's skaters. They were playing their hearts out. They forced the game seven, but Todd McClellan is now 2-0 against his own former mentor, Mike Babcock. And two teams that play a similar style, 2 straight years in a row, Sharks beat the Detroit Red Wings. And, this is arguably the biggest win in the Doug Wilson era for the Sharks. You might say that's an overstatement, but when you look at all the all the history of the Sharks and what everything has been, this is this is really just a huge win for the organization and this group of players because they've heard it before. They've been sick of the labeling. They've been sick of the history of losing of what they've had, and they overcame it this game when they needed to, against all odds. A lot of guys were picking Detroit for this game, and rightfully so with all the momentum they had. But in this game, they stood firm, and I got to give my props to everyone on this team. Sure, there were some moments in the defense, and teams have its struggles, but they really just came through this game and I'm just more happy than what happened this game. I can't even speak clearly. So we're on to the next. You got Vancouver, and that's going to be a very tough opponent. But for tonight, I'm going to enjoy it. This win. I couldn't thank the Sharks organization more for coming through when your fans and your general manager and even the hockey world needed this most. I know this was a big win for the NHL, giving it ratings, giving them another game to watch. Uh, I know the Sharks don't have the greatest fan base compared to Detroit or on the national scale, but the Shark faithful, I think everyone picks Detroit this game unless your name is Matthew Barnaby or you're a Sharks fan. Matthew Barnaby was the only guy on ESPN who had the balls to pick the Sharks. Even after the Sharks lost Game 6, he still stood by his prediction. Sharks in 7. And got to give props there. He stood firm by his prediction. But going on to the next series, it's going to be very tough, and I'm going to preview that for the next series when it comes in like a day or so. But until then, enjoy this win, Shark fans. We've been waiting for a moment like this. We've been dying over the years of ever since the post-lockout era, especially a win like this. Biggest win in the Doug Wilson era. I can say that now. So let me know what you guys think. Sharks fans, neutral fans, and especially Detroit fans even. Let me know what you guys thought of this series. I'm exhausted. And congratulations, though, Sharks. Let's move on and on to the next round. It's gonna be tough, but I'm enjoying it tonight. We'll see you later. And how about those Sharks? Whew.